old woman my arse," he said, lowering his voice so the kids didn't hear him swear. "Okay, I'm not going to start an argument about this. I just want to enjoy our day out. Another few hundred feet up a steep climb isn't going to kill me, I suppose." She shuddered at the thought. She would need to dig deep to counteract the tiredness already seeping into her bones. "Want me to give you a shove?" "You might need to when we get near the top. Remind me, whose idea was this again?" "You mentioned going for a walk. I picked the spot, though, as I recall." "There's a walk and a bloomin' mountain climb. I think this can be deemed the latter. Me and my big mouth. I much prefer looking at the Breckens from a distance rather than climbing the damn things." "Stop complaining. You're using up vital air. You'll need that when we get to the summit. The kids are fine. They're having a blast with Jasper." She couldn't argue about that. Half an hour later, they reached the summit. This hill was one of the smaller ones in the area, thank goodness. It was still a massive achievement to reach the top. They were all totally unfit. Well, she and Malcolm were anyway. The kids had oodles of energy and were still running around after Jasper. Malcolm turned 360 degrees, admiring the view, and pointed at the mountain in the distance. "It's still my ambition to climb that one day, Penny Fan. The tallest peak for miles." "Make sure that's a day when you don't have me tagging along, okay?" Tina chortled. They spent the next couple of hours sharing the sumptuous picnic Tina had spent the previous day preparing, which included sandwiches, a tuna and pasta salad, and lots of different cakes, plus the odd piece of fruit thrown into the mix too. After eating, with her stomach bulging, Tina snoozed on the blanket for a few minutes before it was time to head back down to the car. One thing was for definite, they'd all sleep well tonight. Once they were all piled in the car, they drove the hour or so back home. Malcolm reached for her hand. "Thanks for today. The food was amazing." "Wasn't it? You don't have to thank me. It's always a pleasure looking after my family." They arrived home around 4. The kids had the audacity to put in a request to stop off for a Big Mac on the way. Not likely, you two," Tina said, shaking her head when she turned in her seat to face them. Marcus and Tallulah grinned. "Ha ha, got you, Mum. We're stuffed. I don't think I'll be able to eat another thing all week," Tallulah said. Tina laughed. "I'll hold you to that." They unloaded the car and settled down to watch Frozen. It wasn't long before both kids were asleep in the chair. She and Malcolm carried them upstairs and put them to bed and then returned downstairs. "Fancy a bottle of wine to finish off the perfect day?" Malcolm asked, hovering over her once she had collapsed into the sofa again. Her legs still felt a little wobbly from their adventure. "Why not?" They spent the next few hours with the TV switched off, chatting about the dreams they shared for the future and where they thought the business would lead them. "By the end of the second year, I foresee us having 20 trucks on the go," Malcolm said enthusiastically. "Really? That many? And so soon? I love your optimism. I hope you're right. Maybe we'll be able to buy that quaint little cottage out in the sticks we've always dreamt about owning. Who knows?" The phone ringing interrupted their conversation. Malcolm reached over and dislodged it from its docking station. "Hello?" Tina tilted her head as he replaced the phone. "Who was it?" "No idea. There was no one there." "A wrong number then, probably. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for the land of Nod. Gosh, I never thought I'd hear myself saying that at 9 o'clock. Let's finish off the bottle of wine in bed then, yeah?" He stood and yanked her to her feet. "I love you, Mrs. Webb. I still get shivers when I think of the time I almost lost you in that car accident a few years back." His eyes watered. She ran her hand down his cheek. "You cared for me so well back then. I knew we'd be together forever, and that was before we were blessed with the children. Don't, I'm getting all emotional now. You know what I'm like when the tears start flowing." He slipped his hand into hers and led her towards the stairs. She planted her heels in the carpet to object. "Wait! I need to check the back door is shut, and Jasper will need a wee before we bed down for the night. You take the wine and glasses, I'll be up in a second." He stomped up the stairs, never one for being quiet around the house. It was his only flaw. She let Jasper out and waited for her faithful companion to return. She topped up his water. He lapped half of it and then turned to walk through the house. He slept